All right, Mike, thank you. The ripple effects from last week's shocking gambling investigation involving NBA stars is trickling down to the NCAA. A new rule approved just last week to allow student athletes to bet on professional sports is now being delayed. That rule was supposed to go into effect this weekend, but the SEC commissioner asked the board of directors for a reversal, saying the sports betting change represents a major step in the wrong direction. In response, the board voted to delay the rule until November 22nd.